Victor, Vanya, welcome to the channel Kahani's Golden Bytes. Thank you for taking your time to be on the channel.
Yeah, thanks for inviting me on this channel. Thanks a lot. And happy to be here. Yeah.
Thank you, Victor, once again.
Yeah.
So, Victor, for the benefit of our viewers, may I request you to please share a little background about yourself, what you're doing, Victor?
Yeah, actually, I work on the power market side of things, mostly on the commercial, techno-commercial aspects. We can call it as trading, electricity trading. So that's my area of expertise. So in that line, actually, a lot of reforms are happening in the electricity market, and now electricity is being traded as a commodity. So my role is bridging the gap between the technology and the conventional way of doing techno-commercial aspects in the power sector, the way trading happens, and bring technology into place, and then digitization, which helps in electronic transactions of electricity on a national level or some international level. So that's where my expertise lies in, and mostly I help generators, distribution companies, or interconnected power systems within the Indian ecosystem in these transactions, which happens on the spot electricity market. So and then I advise them on automation, data analytics, and commercial strategy and their planning. All these areas I help them across the spectrum, both government and the private sector. So that's where I work. And I'm also a co-founder of a startup which provides these solutions. So we are 3-year-old. This month we'll be 3-year-old, and our specialization is in this domain again, which is evolving in the Indian powers or the South Asian market. And I'm also an advisor to these South Asian countries under the USA program. So that's one role I'm also playing along with being a founder of this startup. Yeah.
So, Victor, that's a lot that is happening in the electricity market. You know, the terms that you're using are so alien. You know, in the 60s, grids were connected to the regional grids. You know, then in the 90s, there was a shift to connect these 5 grids across the country: south, north, east, west, northeast, right?
Yes.
And now you are mentioning terms like trading, you know. So this is, you know, there's trading happening. There's does that happen? Not a way of doing business, right? Correct? Trading?
Trading now. Right now, it's become very common for all the generators and distribution companies to do electronic trading on a very near real-time basis. So on a national basis, now we are also connecting to neighboring countries. That's where my advisory role also lies. And this has been going on from the last 12-13 years. And that's where my career started, actually, when this concept in India started. And I, from being a fresher role, I was hired in that firm. And then I took part in the evolutionary stage and all the development which happened in the last 12-13 years in this area. And then again, I'm fortunate to be exactly in that place when things are happening. Yeah.
So, Victor, this has been going on since the last 12-13 years, as you mentioned, right? And dramatic changes, right? It is almost a big break from the way the previous, decades that
the conventional way of electricity transactions, electricity planning, all has changed now. Yeah. And it's still changing nowadays.
Still changing.
Yeah.
And you are working in the space of analytics and, you know, digitizing all of this, right?
Yes. Though I'm not, I'm a pure electrical engineer. So, I'm naturally, I have evolved in the last 12-13 years in this role through my experience with working in that domain. Yeah.
Wow. And so now, you know, this domain, the interconnectivity is moving to South Asia also, as you mentioned. It's beyond the borders, right?
Yes.
Right. And so in our country right now, there doesn't seem to be a shortage in terms of power generation, but in terms of transmission and distribution, there seem to be some challenges, right? That is
actually there are shortages. There are huge surpluses in certain time blocks within a day. So, and the peaks are still, we are facing shortages, or to some extent, not to a large extent, but ideally, overall, if you look at throughout the day, we are on the surplus side, but we still have some bottlenecks in terms of peaking is concerned.
Yeah. And how does the the new non-fossil kind of power generation areas that are kicking up?
Yes.
That is also connected with the work that you're doing right now.
Yes, yeah, that's part of it actually. That's an integral part of it, and a lot of problems. We are facing a lot of problems in grid management and the power market. How the prices in the electricity market are touching. Very recently, we have on an average the prices went 15 rupees per unit on the spot market. So because what's happening is we are more and more we are adding a lot of renewables, which are intermittent, which comes. Mostly it is solar and wind, but I would say most of the investment which is coming in, most of the projects which we are putting in India are mostly solar projects. So they have a conventional generation curve. They start once the sun comes up, maybe at 7 o'clock or 8 o'clock in the morning, it starts generating electricity, and by 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock, at that time they peak, and after 2-3 p.m. they start going down, and by 5 o'clock almost it goes down. So that is the generation curve we have for solar. Right now the problem we face is we don't have a lot of peaking generation, because our peak requirement is mostly in the morning hours when people go to offices, when they get ready, and they use the geysers. So that's where our peaking Indian power conventionally we see the peaking there. And then after office hours, when the sun goes down, the lights comes up. So that's where we have a lot of demand coming up. So, but these two areas, solar is not there. So that's where we are facing a lot of shortages, or those shortages are increasing day by day, or month by month, or year by year. But right now, the focus has been how to manage this shortage while we are fairly surplus during the day hours and the other off-peak hours. So how to manage this? So that's the problem we are trying to fix, and then still we are trying to find solutions around that. To support this, we are looking in a big way to add battery storage systems. And then, though that is still a costly affair, and we are still evolving in terms of technology is concerned, but that's one of the solutions we have. And also in India, we're looking at pump storage, the hydro plants which can store water. We can pump back water up to the reservoir and then generate when we need it. Off-peak hours, we pump it up and then we generate it. So these kind of solutions are being thought of right now.
And Victor, in terms of greenhouse gases, etc., the environmental issues, do you all have any role to play there? Are you involved in any way there at the moment?
So actually, so there is a concept called energy efficiency certificates, which are called e-certs. So I took part in the market design for that e-certs mechanism. So which is reducing energy efficiency in the highest in the consuming sectors in India, and then giving incentives, market-based incentives or trading mechanisms, so that how they can reduce their emissions. So that's one of the program I was involved in. So yeah.
Okay, so Victor, I want to take you back in time a little bit. So you did your electrical engineering. You didn't, go for your master's straight away. So I have two questions, based on that. One is, why didn't you go straight away, into the MBA? And why did you choose? You specialized not in finance or marketing in the MBA. You chose the power sector.
Yeah. So yeah, so it's a big story, but in short, so I from my childhood times, I'm mostly interested in doing all mechanical work, fixing the electricity things, making some electrical circuits and stuff like that. So that was my area of interest. So I used to do many things at home. So and then when I grew up, then I thought, okay, I should be an electrical engineer. So I thought, then I will invent many things, do many stuff, a lot of stuff, and I learned a lot in college. And when I went to college, it is mostly theoretical. There's nothing practical. So I was a bit disappointed there, and I lost interest in that area. But still, I'm mostly my interest in the electrical side still persisted. So I just want to stay in that area. So that's where I even did not participate in the campus interviews and all. Mostly IT companies used to come. So so that's and the first subject I failed in my life was in C programming in my engineering. So that's the first time I failed in something. So I was very resistant on that. So I conventionally want to go on the electricity side of things. So then I joined a firm. It's in Noida. So after my BTech, so and I went into a pure electrical. I was going around power plants, commissioning, participating in the commissioning activities and all. But I felt that there is nothing new to do because everything is standard and the designs are standard, everything, all the specifications. So the only thing we are supposed to do is implement them on site. So there's much, I felt that there's a lot of vacuum in terms of creativity is concerned. And the sector is also slow moving. Actually, the ladder is very slow moving, the hierarchical ladder. So I thought it will be a very difficult thing to again grow fast in the hierarchy. And also I also have some entrepreneurial mindset from early on. So I thought this is not the area I want to be. And from there on, slowly. I thought doing an MBA will give me a different start in my career. So and for that, I lack a lot of skills, communication skills, the confidence required, and all that. So then I needed to prepare myself to fit into that role. So that's where I started working, and after. I worked for some time in that 1 year gap for a few months, and then I left it and then started preparing for my exams, for MBA exams. So that's where again, but that still took a lot of effort on my side because mostly I was trained in mathematics, physics, and all that stuff on the engineer, and then now my communication skills are very bad. But if I want to go into a good MBA school or have a good B school. So I need to be very confident and my communication skills should be very good. So I think most of the time I spent building that and then I moved into a B school. So yeah. So, but if I look at myself, I used to be very jittery to give a presentation or to come before an audience. So it used to be very tense. I never used to participate in any of the programs where I'm supposed to stand in front of an audience in my engineering days. So, but it took a lot of effort on my side to transform myself and gain that confidence and then come out of that. Yeah.
And today you're presenting all over the country and internationally, right?
Yes. That's
yeah. And did the MBA help you in any form or manner? Was it a worthwhile investment that those couple of years for your MBA?
Yeah, actually, MBA gave me a platform to interact with diverse people and in the sector, in the power sector, especially because the MBA I did is a specialization in the power sector, and which helped me understand the sector well and also have connections in the sector, which will be useful in throughout my career. So that has given a platform, and also it has helped me to build my confidence, improve my skills, and work upon many other areas as a person, as a professional. So that has helped me a lot to evolve. Yeah.
Yeah. So in your management related, you've probably begun to see things very differently also, pre-MBA and
Yeah.
post-MBA, right?
Yeah, I understand what is marketing, what is finance, what is the scientific relevance of these things in the in a firm, and how is wealth generation done and all these things. So those things, uh, and also how the commercial aspects of in the power sector work. So that's a different uh, uh, understanding altogether for me. So that helped me, because the technical side of things and the commercial side of things both together gave me a good platform. And then once I came into the sector, so then I learned a lot on the technology side of things, the IT side of things. So yeah, so all together has helped me evolve.
In the midst of the big transformation that is happening.
Yeah, so many things. Actually, we are in the midst of many things happening together. Technology is this thing which plays a key role for transformation of the sector, and that's what I can see. Because once we started this startup, so we can see all the big players in this electricity sector are our clients, and then in a very short time. So and I think the kind of vacuum which is there in our sector, so we can build it up with technology. So, and that's what I am trying to evolve myself and learn on a daily basis. And I myself started learning programming and small other stuff, and started doing and got involved with the team, and yeah, so that I can connect with them and also understand things. So
fantastic.
yeah, and if I see myself 2 years back, I'll be very surprised to know that I'll be in this our startup will be in this position and we'll be doing so many the things which we're doing. And if I look back 10 years, so I cannot even think of the things which I'm doing.
Wow.
Yeah, so for me it's a great journey. Yeah,
Excellent.
challenging at the same time. I have a lot of things to learn, and I think with the maturity of the sector, I myself also will keep maturing in that direction. So yeah.
Victor, I won't take more of your time. I know I've taken a lot of your time, but thank you very much. Wish you a lot of success.
Sure.
Thank you very much for your time, Victor, once again.
Thanks a lot. Thank you very much. Thanks for the time.